Hey, yo, let's roll. It's your boy TrapShotz. Thank Jesus for blessing my soul. I got another one for y'all. This one about OTF Boona, bro. Your boy was doing some wild stuff, man. Sometimes people need to sit down. Here we go.
Old saying, you can take a dog out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the dog. Chicago has bred some of the most ruthless killers, and generations of kids have grown up around vicious, senseless violence. So what happens when one of these kids moves out of Chicago? You'd think it would save them, but the reality is, hurt people, and some people are just too far gone. 32-year-old Michael Golden would be more commonly known as OTF Boona, a close associate of Lil Durk. A black disciple, Boona was from Lamar, otherwise known as 300, and his reputation has him listed as one of them ones. With arrests as early as 17 for a weapon, 18 for armed robbery, and later for a machine gun, Boona was very much a product of his environment, but soon he'd start to exceed expectations. With Durk's rise to fame, he'd move OTF down south, making Atlanta home base. Boona was now out of the south side of Chicago, but apparently couldn't let go of his old ways. In March of 2021, Boona was accused of jumping out of an SRT Durango and opening fire on 4 people outside of a mall, resulting in a gunfight. 3 would end up shot, including.
Yo, it's crazy. Some brothers, all they know is crashing out, bro. All they know is crashing out. I be feeling bad for them, bro. Like, at this point, it ain't even like no tough jump. You know what I'm saying? I'm tough. I ain't worried about none of that tough carrying a gun jump. All my YNs carry guns. What I'm saying is, I preach to my YNs, bro. Don't be crashing out over nothing stupid. You throwing your life away over something that you can't get back for real, bro. For real.
A 6-year-old boy. Boona would jump back in the SUV and flee the scene without realizing he dropped his phone. This piece of evidence would lead to his arrest. 19-year-old Jacava Harris was shot in the foot before firing back at Boona. 19-year-old Deshaun Powell was shot in the back, and 18-year-old Karanji Reese would be unharmed. These 3 were members of MCF/Glizzy Gang, MCF standing for Money Comes First. The one who shot back was known as Lil Man Man, a local rapper from Atlanta, and this shootout would set off a chain of events. 3 months after the mall shooting, Lil Durk's house in Atlanta was broken into by home invaders and gunshots were exchanged. The very next month, 19-year-old Marcus Holland Jr. was killed. He was known as Mark, was a member of MCF Glizzy Gang, and is rumored to have been one of the shooters that broke into Durk's home. It's been said they targeted Durk after Man Man was shot by OTF Boona. MCF Glizzy Gang would damn near fall apart as Man Man would be sentenced to federal prison after a federal agent was shot during a car theft. Karanji Reese would later be arrested for a nightclub shooting in which he allegedly shot 6 people, killing 2.
Yo, Chicago is like, it's the place of crash outs for no reason, bro. And any Chicago brothers watching us, bro, please tell me y'all not doing all this crashing out. Like, killing people do not make people tough. I don't know why people be thinking that, bro. It don't make you tough, bro. You just go out to answer to God on game.
With Durk's federal takedown, it would seem the city of Atlanta now felt like they could target OTF, knowing the main source of income behind them was gone. Just months ago, OTF Duty Low would be robbed and shot in Atlanta, and an affiliate of Quando Rondo would post his chain and watch to Instagram. But Boona wasn't hiding behind Durk's money, and Durk's lyrics would highlight the type of savage Boona is, as Durk said in his song Monitoring Me. Boona a bug, he gon' get up with you. See, I pay him not to get rid of. Talking about the ones with the Twitter fingers. Boona had a reputation of violence, and on July 22nd, 2025, he'd remind everyone.
My husband was driving, it was around 7 a.m. leaving to work, and he actually saw the body and saw the officers, and he stopped and he was like, should we be worried?
What makes this mystery even more puzzling is what Abby Gonzalez and her neighbors say they didn't hear at around 6 o'clock Tuesday morning. No gunshots, no screams, no sounds of violence that would explain how a man in his 20s ended up dead with a gunshot wound.
I have 2 little ones in the house, and we're always outside here in the church, so it makes us feel scared a little bit.
Police arrived on scene locating a Hispanic man who'd been shot to death, but nobody reported gunfire. The next day, the man was identified as 28-year-old Oscar Alexis Cruz, a father of 1. Investigators would soon learn of the horrors Oscar went through leading up to his violent death. An arrest warrant would be signed for Boona on August 7th. It would allege Boona traveled to Lawrenceville, a city 40 minutes from downtown Atlanta. Between 1:30 in the morning and 3 a.m., police allege Boona broke into Oscar's home, bound his hands with duct tape, demanded money, searched through his home, and executed him by shooting him multiple times, then dumped his body 9 minutes away in a church parking lot.
Let's do the real demon, bro. And he too old to be beefing with all these youngins, bro. What's going on?
Boona would be charged with murder, aggravated assault, home invasion, kidnapping, armed robbery, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Escaping the city of Chicago and moving to Atlanta for a new start, OTF Boona is just Boona without Durk. The fame, the fortune, was sitting inside of a federal facility, while Boona was left to fend for himself and revert back to the old him. As the quote says, you can take a dog out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the dog. And now, Boona is facing fucking forever. And for bounding someone with duct tape before executing them, I wouldn't be surprised if he faces execution by the state of Georgia. Now, one of the most important things that
Y'all, I just don't get it, man. All these crash shots and stuff. Yeah, like, I got one question, and drop in the comments, you know what I'm saying? Would you rather be a crash out in like the free world and everybody's scared of you, but nobody really trusts you? Nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody trusts you. Like, the trust is gone. People go try to set you up. An example, Julio Fulio. Like, would you rather be a crash out and end up dead, or rich in prison? Because that's what usually happen to crash outs. When they crash out for somebody, they end up rich in prison because whoever paid them to do whatever go make sure they straight on their books. That's usually how it works. So think about this now, being a popular crash out that everybody's scared of, don't trust, and want dead, and rich in prison or in the grave, or would you rather be a boring, normal dude that don't crash out? You might beat people up, but you don't kill people. And I'm living a beautiful life, bro. No doubt. Come on, man. I'm just trying to talk to y'all for real, bro. Why you got to do all this shooting and all this crazy shit, bro? Relax, bro. Go smoke one. Find you a girl. See, like my philosophy, a lot of dudes do this because they either broke or ain't got no girl to calm down. And if they got all this and still doing it, bro, they worship, bro. They talk to the one down below in hell, you feel me? Because ain't no way you love life and you taking all this life, bro. It's crazy to me. It's crazy. I used to be young and dumb too, but them Chicago dudes got like 10 bodies, and that's a difference. That's a big difference. We ain't doing all that over here. But, man, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe button. It's free to do. If you mess with the video, share it for your boy. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Y'all's on.